Years ago, when I was a boy in Tennessee, I was out wandering the woods, and I came to a place that we called the Pit. Now, the Pit was a big depression in the ground, surrounded by weeds and kudzu. It's where people threw all their old, broken-up car parts and busted lawn chairs and busted refrigerators. And it would fill up with water in the rains, but the trees all around the Pit had the best swinging vines, and we used to go up there and cut off a vine and swing out over the water and look down and say, my God, if I fall into that, nobody's ever going to find me. So I was walking along the edge of the Pit one day, and I got too close, and I fell down toward the bank, and I was sprawled out right near the edge of the water, and I looked over, and right next to my head was a copperhead snake. And I said, oh boy, I'm going to die from a venomous snake bite to the nose. But just before that copperhead struck, this big black hand shot down from above and grabbed that snake and yanked it up. And another hand grabbed it and wrung its neck, and thighs popped out. And I looked up, and standing over me was old Crawford. And old Crawford was a black man about 7 foot tall, dressed in overalls and a tore-up shirt. Mom and Dad had said that he had died years ago, but there he was right in front of me. I couldn't believe it. He reached down and he picked me up and pulled me out of the pit, stood me on my feet. And he looked at me and he said, son, you know what's for supper? And I said, no, sir. And he said, snake. So old Crawford took me through the woods and over the road and out to a field underneath a stand of sweet gum trees where his house was. And his house was nothing but cinder blocks with a tin roof on top of it. And he took out a Bowie knife and he skinned that snake and he built a fire and he took 2 pieces of wood. He strung chicken wire over the wood and he hung that snake on the chicken wire. And then he got 2 tin plates and a couple of tin cups, and he walked over to his well, which was just a hand pump, and he pumped up 2 cups of well water. And when that snake was finished, he put some on his plate and mine, and he handed me my plate, and I was about to eat it, and he said, whoa, son, that's not how you eat snake. So he reached in his pocket, and he pulled out a bottle of Tabasco sauce, and he poured that Tabasco sauce on the snake. And we sat there all that afternoon and evening, we ate snake. And he told me the stories of how he used to plow all the fields around there with his mule before the subdivision came in and cleared it all out. And I fell asleep listening to those stories of his. I woke up the next morning, everything was gone. It was just some old busted up tin and some pieces of rock. And the well was all rusted up, the hand pump wouldn't work anymore. And where the fire had been was just some old ashes. I thought, wow, it must have been just a dream, so I got up to leave. I felt in my pocket, though, and I found something, pulled it out. It's an old bottle of Tabasco sauce. And on the back label, someone had written in charcoal, served with snake.